So I have Akusia Asidua. Akusia, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And then I also have Jessie Sunkwa Mills. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
Charlie, I'm trying. The tree is not easy for me. All right. So you guys are here regarding an animation. But before we go into that, let's get to know you a little bit.
Sure.
Akusia,
Yeah.
who is Akusia? I was reading that you were on YOLO and you're a brand ambassador, but there's more to you than that. Tell me.
So for now, I do a regular 9 to 5, and I'm in school as well.
Okay.
So I'm reading my master's currently in environmental resources management.
Right.
So voice acting is something that I like to say I do on the side.
Okay.
And a little bit of social media influencing as well.
Right. You mentioned about the earth sciences and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Now, how the jump? Like, so what's your 9 to 5?
So I work in the environment sector.
Okay.
At the Environmental Protection Agency, actually.
Okay.
Yes. So
did you just fall into the acting and brand
I like
ambassador?
to believe that it was an opportunity that I had.
Okay.
And I took advantage of it at the time.
Okay.
And due to the popularity of the show at the time, social media numbers increased, and so that is what led me into the influencing aspect, because there are people who are watching you and people who take what you tell them most of the time. And so it was good to add the influencing bits with regards to that. So yeah, that's how influencing came in. The acting, like I said, was an opportunity. I took it and it's been up from there.
And it blew up for you.
Yeah, you can say that.
We thank God for that. So but your passion is earth sciences.
So yes, I think growing up, I've always wanted to be a corporate girly. Work a 9 to 5, go to work, look nice to work. I've always seen women going to work, taking charge of things. And I think that's what I've always wanted to be growing up. It's not a bad thing wanting to do the acting on the side, but yeah, I think I'd like to hold on to both for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I mean, a lot of people, what they study and what they do can be different, but you are managing to study, do what you have studied, and then also add.
Yeah, luckily there hasn't been so much of a clash yet. So that's why I said for now. I haven't had to particularly choose one over the other. I've been able to balance both.
Okay.
For now, up to this stage, I haven't had to, pick one, drop one. So yes, let me just hold on to both of it for as long as I can.
So how many years have you been doing the acting for now?
Okay, so I started acting in 2019. Actually, professionally, because I was president for a drama club back in school.
Right, so the passion was always there.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah. So I was acting a little, but that was stage drama, and that was in high school.
And stage and TV are very different.
Yeah, they are very different, yes, absolutely. So, like I said, opportunity came up in 2019, and yes, since 2019, I've been doing a little bit of acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
But I entered corporate in 2021. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing any more of YOLO. Why?
I am unable to speak on that now.
Okay.
I wait for updates from my producer. So based on what he tells me, then I get to be in the know as well.
We want more. We want more. Okay, great. So let's move over quickly to Jessie. Hi, Jessie. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great by the grace of God. Thank you
Awesome.
very much. So, I was doing a little reading of your bio, and your bio is packed, in fact. The little that I took from it, that you're an accomplished member of the animation media scene. Is that a right way to kind of phrase it?
That you could say that.
I've tried, right?
You tried.
And then you're also the founder of Mills Media.
That's right,
as well.
yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what took you to the animation route.
Okay.
How did it all begin?
I've been an artist all my life, if I should say, right from infancy till adulthood. Animation is something I've been excited about. Growing up watching animation on TV, I've always been fascinated about, how they get these characters to move, like the whole science behind it, just blew my mind, and I knew from day one that this is what I really wanted to pursue. So I've been studying art all my life through till uni, and that was where I stumbled on animation proper, got to understand the science behind making an animation, and I just decided to, toe that lane and use animation to tell stories because I love, stories, and I believe animation is a very good tool for us to use to tell these stories, our own stories. So I'd say that's how.
When you say our own, be clear
the Ghanaian
for us.
African story.
Yeah.
Exactly, because
inclusivity is important.
Exactly. For a very long time, the African story, even though it's been told, we feel it's still being left out of modern media.
It's being told in a Western way.
Exactly. So if we do not tell our own stories, like you're saying, it will be told for us. And they end up tweaking the whole narrative and all. But if we're doing that ourselves, we have total control. That's and right. We're able to tell it well. And animation, like I said, is a really powerful tool because it cuts across a wider demographics, little kids, adults, young adults, old people, everybody enjoys animation.
I mean, because people tend to kind of think that animation is, like you say, just for kids or something like that. But I mean, I like watching animation at my age, and I like to see, I think I saw something whereby they were kind of showing this one, they were using like Play-Doh to manipulate the characters to walk and to move and things like that. But what are the different types of animation that there are and that you also engage in?
Okay, so we've got, I'll just talk about the main types. I'll not get too technical, but usually there's either 2D or 3D animation, and then there's stop motion. 2D looks flat, like a watercoloring on paper, whilst 3D animation is, three-dimensional, a lot more solid. It feels a lot more realistic. Stop motion is when you create like physical characters and then you move them by hand and you take actual photographs and put them together and then they move.
So that's a really time intensive.
It's quite time consuming. But what we do as a studio is 3D animation, and that's like the new wave of animation. And that's what the AAA studios are all doing, the Disneys, the DreamWorks.
So is that merely done on, I say merely, is that only done on a computer, or is it also done like physically as well?
So no, that's 3D animation is all done on a computer.
Right.
Yes. Back in the days, producing animation was quite tiring and very, exhausting. They would have to literally draw. That's the 2D one. They would have to draw everything on paper, then now it's scan.
So is that like Tom and Jerry?
Exactly.
Right.
Yes, but I mean, with the evolution of tech and all, it's brought up certain tools that has made the work, I would say, a bit more easier as compared to back in the days. Even though it's still quite complicated, it's much better than it was. And even with the introduction of AI and all, it's trying to make it a lot better and easier and faster. So
to do, just for an example, so that people can kind of understand what goes into this. If maybe you are doing like a 30-minute animation, how long will that take in the studio?
Well, that would depend on your capacity. But even AAA studios spend a year or two working on a live feature. But 30 minutes, I'll use my studio as an example. If you're not having to do any other gigs on the side and all, but which we have to be doing because that's how we run as a studio, we could spend, say, 6 months on a 30, 40 minutes. Yeah, but if you have to be doing other things on the side, like commercial gigs and all of that,
the money must be flowing.
Oh.
So it is quite time consuming, but I assume that it's quite successful.
Yes, it is. I mean, we say as animators that in recent times it's like the right time for you to get into the space, and if in our parts of the world it still feels like an untapped area. There aren't too many people in the space. You cannot count, a dozen number of proper animation studios in the country, not just in Accra.
How does that make you feel in a certain respect? Not emotionally, but professionally.
Yeah, I think it comes with a lot of pressure, because then it means we're trying to build a whole industry.
Yeah.
And a lot, falls on us to make sure things are in place. I mean, people have done their bit in the past, but then in recent times, with our studio, for instance, what we're doing and all, we can tell that a lot falls on us and other studios to make sure things are well in place. We get several calls, several messages, several emails from young, talented people asking to want to be a part of the industry, wanting to study, wanting to, so even though it because we are not many, so then, when it comes to getting gigs, you're able to get a lot more gigs. It also comes with its pressure, because then it means there aren't enough,
to satisfy the work.
Exactly, yes. And
but do you find that this particular type of media, I mean, it cuts across, but this particular type of media is less appreciated here, and that's why there are not many people into it?
Yeah, you could say that, but I mean, in recent times, it's actually changing. We'll talk more about it moving forward, but when we put out our very first film in 2022, which we took to cinema, we were surprised by the turnout. Like you were saying before, that's what we used to think, that it wasn't really appreciated here. We didn't think people would leave their homes to come to the mall to see a locally made animated film, and the day comes and they blew our minds. We had
but I must say, I'm not trying to burst your bubble,
right,
but wouldn't you say that it's not your general Joe blogs that goes to the cinema in Ghana, because you are paying like per person something like 50 to 100 cedis for a ticket,
right?
So the people that may have come may already be well versed in these kinds of things. I hope you're getting what I'm saying.
I get you, but not necessarily. What other factors had to also come in play. A lot of them were just excited about the fact that finally something like this is happening here, and the tool is being used to tell a story they've been hearing for so long in just books or oral, so
it's coming to life.
Finally they get to see it, and it was made by their very own, so they just showed up to see. But then there's also a lot of truth in the fact that people do not really regard this space. They do not. They see it as this is just for kids. This is not. But meanwhile, it's done by adults.
It cuts across.
Yes,
I mean, Acquah, if you vouch with me, when you are trying to go for a gig for voiceover, and then you give your rate card, and then somebody's like, "That's so expensive," But in actual fact, it's not even close to what others are charging. If you look outside, people appreciate it more there.
Aside that, I think people also do not give content creators the credit that they deserve.
Right.
I think people really just think you are taking your phone and you're recording it. So it's like, is it just this thing that you're charging me so much for? But in order to create content for somebody, aside the video that you're shooting, editing applications, and nowadays most of them are paid. So you do have to pay for these apps. And you have invested a lot, whether it's your background, your logistics for shooting, whatever, it took money. And even all of that aside, I am exposing you to my audience. So that alone should be worth something. But brands come, you charge them. Like you said, the amount of money we charge here as local creators isn't what people...
It's peanuts.
So you'd realize that a big brand, I'll not mention any, but an international brand pays their foreign creators in dollars. They're paying $1,000 maybe per video post or per picture post, and then they come to Ghana, and most of the time they don't deal with the influencers directly. They come through influencer houses or things like that. And so it comes down, and the same company that is willing to pay a foreign influencer $1,000 comes down here and would want to pay 1,500. I don't know.
That may not be true. The reason being, you are, like you mentioned, it goes through a house.
So yeah, that's my whole point. The fact that there's an intermediary, there's a third party. I don't know where the disconnect comes in. I don't know where that happens. I don't know where that disconnect is coming from. But you realize that before the deal comes to you, it's like, is this all you think I'm worth? Of everything, the work I am doing, exposing you to my audience. Look, even if somebody doesn't buy your product immediately, I keep saying it that
It
for
may
the
take
fact
time.
that exactly somebody has seen that, oh, okay, if I'm looking for a shoe, I can find a shoe here. I might not buy it today. I could buy it in the next 6 months. That, oh, I was looking for a shoe today, and I remembered, oh, Asiedwa did an ad for this shoe brand. Let me go and find them. And then you buy it. It's just the fact that I'm giving you visibility. Even if you're not getting instant sales, people know you now. And I
Yeah.
think that is still very important.
Yeah.
But some people come, they want instant results. And mostly these are the people who are not even willing to pay what you're worth.
Right.
Okay, so like these are the problems, like
The
Mills
issues going
rightfully
on.
said.
Yeah, I mean, Ghana is Ghana. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's move on to your current project.
Okay.
That's, if I'm not wrong, Guardians, the Chosen Ones.
Yeah, the Guardians.
So tell us about this. It sounds interesting.
So yes, 100%. Mills reached out to us at the beginning of the year, and he told us about the project. And I can't speak for everybody else, but personally, I thought it was a very interesting area to explore. It wasn't something I had done before, voice acting. It wasn't something, I mean, we do voiceovers for influencing stuff, but that's very
so
different exactly from professional voice acting. And so when Jesse reached out, I agreed to do it because, like I said, it's something nice, something different from what I am used to and what everybody else is used to. And so I agreed to do it. And so we got to the studio. It's really different from live action. This time, you're supposed to imagine what the scene is going to look like based on the script you're given.
Right.
You have to imagine yourself in the character. And it has you see, like the title goes, The Guardians. There's a lot of fighting, and so imagine having to do all these fighting sounds because you have to do it.
Yeah.
So you have to do all of that, and like for live action where you are able to channel some of your emotions through your costume or through your facial expression, this time you have nothing like that, and so most of your expressions, your emotions go in your voice.
Yeah.
You have to channel these things through your voice. So it wasn't difficult. It was just very different. It was challenging in a good way. And yes, we're here today.
Yeah, I mean, we did something small here, and I thought it was, in fact, my mind was that it was like a kind of voiceover thing, but it's voice acting. It's like you are acting using your voice, and like it is so different.
So you see that for some scenes where somebody has to cry, you need to cry. You don't need to fake crying because I think it will reflect.
It will show,
so you need to cry. If there's something with food, like while you're eating, you have to eat something. If you are panting, we go outside, run, and come back just so we can have the panting effect that we want. And so, like I said, different but very positively challenging.
Great.
Yes.
So, Jesse, how are you? I mean, this is your third project? Your
third film,
project. Yeah. And how are you finding this versus the other two that you've done?
I tell everyone and the team that this would be the best work we've done so far. If you've seen all our films from 2022 when we put out Acquah is really good. It's still one of the big projects we've ever done. But you'd see the progress in terms of the look and feel of their animation. The performance is better. Everything is better now. And so once you see The Guardians, you would probably be surprised that this was done here in Ghana. I say that because of even comments we're seeing on the social media. People are already comparing this to a Disney production that was done for Nigeria called Iwaju.
Okay. Wow.
That's how good people think this is. And I mean, it's just humbling and exciting that people are seeing all the hard work we're putting in, and exactly this would definitely be, the best we've done so far.
Before you know, you'll be on Netflix.
Let's see. Yeah.
So, what else would you like to tell people about Guardians? I mean, when is it going to be ready? When is it going to premiere? We are looking forward to it. So when is it going to be?
Yeah, so it's premiering next week, Saturday.
Hey, next week. Yeah.
28.
Wow.
Yes, on the
Okay.
28th at the Silverbird Cinemas.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting night like never before. It's a weekend, Christmas, right after
Yeah.
Christmas, you should come along with the family. There'll be games. We've got comics from this as well, lots of activities. So the red carpet is at 6 p.m. and then the main event or the screening is at 7. And like I said, this is like nothing you've seen before.
So do we have to dress up in any certain way or anything like that? To
I mean, if you
join
can,
in the fun.
if you're able to get some fashion designer to make these superhero costumes for you on time, yeah.
come as your favorite superhero.
Yes, because there'll
Yeah.
be some bit of cosplay as well
Okay.
on the day. So if you could do that, then that's fine. But I mean,
And
yeah.
like he rightfully said, on the day he's going to be outdoor in the game.
Yeah.
He has a game for the Guardians
Yeah.
as well. So
Wow,
the
okay.
animation aside, they have designed a game as well. And
a
so they're going
comic-
to be
and
and a comic book,
yeah.
yes. So
Wow.
as part of the red carpet activities, they are going to outdoor the game and the comic books for anybody and everybody who will be interested. And so yes, there's that as well.
Wow. So next week, Saturday?
Saturday.
It's going to be an
Yes, next week
exciting
Saturday.
night, 6 p.m., the red carpet. So make sure you look fly. And that's going to be at the Silverbird Cinema, that Acquah
Accra
Mall.
Mall and West Hills Mall. as
And
well.
West Hills the same day? Or
Yes, it's all on the
Same day.
same day.
same
Yes.
time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are flash mobbing. So West Hills Mall and
Acquah Mall.
Acquah Mall, Silverbird Cinemas, Saturday the 28th at 6 p.m. The red carpet starts. And then
Exactly.
the film starts at what time?
7.
Or let's leave it at 6 p.m. Because
Yes.
Ghana man time.
Yes. Yes.
Leave it at 6
so
p.m.
the whole
So-
experience starts from 6 p.m.
Right, so it's going to be great. If you can dress up as a superhero, do. If you can't, just come as you are. And Jessie will be there, and Akosua will also be there to see you.
100%.
So please, your social media handles.
So mine is really just _B everywhere. So-
Asiedua_B and
Yes.
Jessie.
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram, millsmedia_, on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, everywhere.
Okay.
Yes.
And if anyone has any questions or
So
queries for you,
so you can call 054-6677-580.
the number is fly, pa. Give
Zero
it
fi-
again.
054-6677-580. And if you want to purchase tickets, you could do star 447 star 2250 hash.
Abotre. Star.
Star 447 star 2250 hash.
Okay. And
Yes.
that you can purchase, how much are tickets?
It's 100 CDs.
100 CDs for tickets. So
Yeah.
it's a cool 100 CDs
Cool
per
100
ticket.
CDs.
Children also 100 CDs or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's star 447 star 2250 hash. And you can buy your ticket for the Guardians, the Chosen Ones. Am I saying the title correctly?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you are.
Okay. The Guardians, the Chosen Ones. And it's an exclusively Ghanaian project, an animation that's going to be at the Silverbird Cinema, Acquah Mall and West Hills Mall on Saturday, the 28th of December. This very year at 6 p.m. is the red carpet. If you want your picture to be in the magazines and on social media, come early so they can be taking pictures with you and things like that. So we've had Jessie Sunkwa Mills, who is the founder of Mills Media, who are bringing out this animation. And then we also have Akosua Asiedua, who is one of the actresses or the voice actors. Do I say it like that? Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the voice actors as well. So next week is going to be great. So any last words?
So yeah, we hope to see everybody. It's a project made by us, for us, and everybody else. So please come if you can. It's very family friendly, children friendly. So everybody, it's invited. So if you can, please make it for us.
Listen to her
Thank you.
voice. Don't you want to be listening to that in an animation? I mean, it's going to be great. Okay, so star 447 star 2250 hash for your tickets for next week's the guardians, the chosen ones. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. Coming right up, we have the Starr midday news. So don't move, don't shake, don't change your dial.